I want to thank you for coming out to the Argyl School District and doing the tour. They were part of the Dyslexia Intervention Pilot Program. So I know that that program was completed in June. So can you tell me when the report is going to be given to the legislature and made public?
Sure, absolutely. So first, I also want to take a moment and thank you for hosting us in your district and visiting the school and really being able to spend some time in each one of those classrooms to understand the program from the early years through later elementary years. So as you know, and just pretty much for the edification of the rest of the group, the Dyslexia program has been in existence now for a little over 3 years. So the students who are currently in the program at the end of this year will be the first cohort of students actually taking some form of normative assessment. So we're pretty confident that by the end of this year, we'll at least have some normative data to share with the General Assembly, and then we can make a decision as to whether or not it's worthwhile to move forward.
Do you have any idea what you're going to do as far as building off the success of that program? And I think it's so important because I think the intervention comes in early so that we're not spending dollars later if we catch that reading problem early enough that they can, get the help they need first, kindergarten, first, second grade, and then, it's better. So can you tell me what the department's going to do?
Absolutely. So the program has provided two opportunities. One, an opportunity to observe firsthand some of the best practice that were engaged, pulling the norms and the scripts, for teachers that they were using over the course of the class, the cross-classroom articulation, and then the other aspect of it is the program itself. So once the report actually comes out to the General Assembly, I'm actually pretty confident it will be well before the end of the year, maybe within the next couple of months. We'll know, first whether it's worthwhile and we can support the efficacy of the program, but also those established best practices have been identified, and our Department of Special Education have been sharing them and integrating them as part of their professional development standards.
Okay, thank you. Now I want to switch to another program, the Community College Tuition Assistance Program. So I have some questions with that. My understanding is there's $8 million proposed for the Community College Tuition Assistance Program, and they'd be one-time grants awarded for $2,500 for individuals. So I'm presuming that the current community college students would use this grant to pay current education expenses. But what about a community college graduate who's already working in PA, and if they don't have debt?
So the governor is recommending $8 million to go towards a $2,500 grant for community college current students or graduates who are working towards or hold an industry certificate or a degree. So students who have graduated or completed those types of programs can absolutely take advantage of applying for those funds. As you know, that one of the governor's big areas of concern and what he believes is an area of promise is not only high quality higher education or post-secondary opportunities, but trying to keep that local workforce here in Pennsylvania. So that grant will qualify.
Are there going to be restrictions on how to use that? So if you have someone, in community college is an affordable way to, for education, but so if you don't have any grants left, or are they going to be able to use that for something else? And what restrictions are we putting on the students or the people who are working, who are no longer students but graduating from that program?
So the $8 million or the $2,500 per individual, right now the governor is not recommending any restrictions. But of course, always open to
So someone could graduate from community college, get a master's, get a PhD, and then come back for a grant? I mean, how long are they going to be able to apply for that?
Yep, so the grant requirements are working towards an industry certificate or a 2-year degree. So if someone with a PhD wanted to come back and work towards an industry cert and apply for those grants, they could qualify.
But what if they went to community college first and started their education there and continued on? They're still going to be able to come back? There's no time frame as to how long after graduation they can apply for that?
As I understand it, because we've not had a specific conversation around those details, but I guess technically if you hold a certificate or a degree from a community college and you've gone on to advance your credentialing, I believe based on the initial language, you might qualify.
Well, I'm just concerned. I think community colleges play an important part of the workforce development. So I'm just curious as why we're starting a new program and why not just increase their funding line so that we can keep the programs going that we have?
So the governor really wanted to try to be more strategic around providing a pot of funding to incentivize the growth in industry certificates, 2-year degrees, but also for the workforce to stay in Pennsylvania. Understanding that we're lagging in our next generation workforce. And so what he's trying to do in a strategic manner is to incentivize individuals to stay locally.